Hello and welcome to Mission TV at the GC 2015. I'm so happy to have with me today our brother Israel Prasad from India.
Yes.
Where in India are you from, Tombi?
From Chennai.
Now I called him Tombi there, and that's because I'm older than he is and I am his older sister. So I'm calling him younger brother.
Yes.
So
And I call you Akka, which means elder sister.
right.
Yeah.
And Tombi, we want to talk about some younger brothers and sisters today.
Yes.
In the family of God, there are a lot of children that don't know him yet.
Yes. Yes.
And he longs for them to know him.
Yes.
And so one of the projects we have at Jesus for Asia is a project that is very dear to your heart and mine.
Exactly.
And that's our orphanage there in India. Now, where is this orphanage located?
It is in Tamil Nadu, south part of India, and in Tamil Nadu, Karur.
Okay,
Place
that's
called,
the city.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and you have a story to share with us about the children. But first, how many children are there?
Right now we have 17 children.
17.
God
How
has
many
blessed-
boys? How many girls?
Boys 10 and girls 7.
7 girls. Okay, and we have some workers there helping
Yes.
them.
Yes, there are 5 workers, 1 cook, and 1 kind of a watchman, because the government needs certain criterias to be handled with. So we have a watchman and a manager and a dean,
Okay.
dean.
Okay. All right. Tommy, share the story with us.
Yes.
Share the backstory a little bit. How come this story came to be?
Okay, it's a blessing that we got that property. It's an answer for our prayers, because we have been struggling with a very small property in Chennai, and we were been praying, and God blessed us with a big area.
Right.
And it is nearly about 5 acres of land.
Okay.
And God has blessed us, and the one who sold, he was praying that I would sell it for a very good ministry, which would take care of children, which would have an orphanage. He was
Wow.
so happy to give it that property, because there were so many other people, other church, like Sunday worshipping churches, they offered him a very big amount of money.
Wow.
But he said, I can't allow it because they would have an idol worship. So he said,
yes.
I'm giving it for the people who will not have idol worship.
Wow.
So that is when I stepped in and with one pastor. So God showed us this property, and God has given us this property. From then
What a
on,
blessing.
Yes, from then on, and even paying the amount for the property was a great miraculous thing, the way God led,
Yes.
because no landlord will allow the
Delays
delays.
and-
Yes.
yes.
We were, it was delayed
Very
and
slow.
delayed, but still he was so patient. He just stood, and the only thing in his mind was that a godly ministry should take over the property.
Wow.
So that God opened a way. He touched the man's heart, and we are now blessed with 17 children. They are enjoying.
They're out in the country
Yes.
with some nature around them, some trees and
Exactly. And when we got it, it was green, and then there was no rain, and by God's grace, I'm going to tell more about that.
yeah, it took several years for us to pay it off, and in the
Exactly.
meantime a drought began.
Yes.
Now this
yes.
drought went on for several years.
Right. And there was no rain for 4 years.
4 years.
4 years.
Now on the property there was a well.
Yes.
There was an open well, right?
Yes, there was a well, and the well also was dried completely. There was
How
not
deep was this well?
nearly 40 feet down. 40,
okay.
yeah.
35 or 40?
40 years.
Okay. So so then we had to dig a well.
Yes, we then God blessed us to dig a well, and there was no water. We went nearly 1,000 feet down. There was no water. And I was personally, really kind of
Disappointed.
disappointed, and there was another
Because we
pastor.
had prayed a lot. We were expecting the Lord to give water.
Exactly.
Yes.
And there was no water. But this man who sold the property, the ex-landlord, he came and encouraged me saying, Brother Israel, never be disappointed. I'll tell you, this is a witness, because God didn't want to show the nearby people that there is plenty of water, because they are Hindus, they are Muslims. If they would see the gushing of water, they would come for all their needs. And if we say, no, please, not today, it would
Right.
be an upsetting thing for them. And
Oh,
that would
yes.
bring a bad image on the orphanage. So
Right.
God hid that from the public. And I tell you, the very next day, we tried to see how deep the water is. So we tied a bottle,
Uh-huh.
a strong bottle, heavy bottle, and we put it inside, and there was water in 550 feet.
Wow.
There, I was really surprised. I thanked the Lord.
Yes.
The very next day, and they
Wow.
said if you would have this much of water, the very next day, we tell you, you would have water the whole year.
Wow.
And there was no rain. It was very dry.
Wow. So already a miracle.
A miracle, yes.
So what did that water taste like?
The water didn't taste that good. Very salty.
Salty.
And, they said you can't use it for any purpose. We were using it for washing clothes and for washing vessels, and these were the things we were using. And the well water was completely dry.
Wow.
The 35-40 feet well,
Uh-huh.
the open well, the water, there was no
It
water.
was totally dry.
Totally dry. And that is when we just had these children come in. We started
Okay.
it, and I asked the children personally to pray, especially for God to bless with good drinking water.
Yes.
So they have been praying for the water, and it was one fine day. We have a teacher, also one of our staff working there. She's
Okay.
a Sunday worshiping teacher, but still she has such a great faith. She
Wow.
has been led thus far with what the truth, the local pastor comes, that is all. And now she is given a privilege to know about the remnant truth, this good
Wow.
message.
Praise the Lord.
And she is excited. Each time I go there, I spend at least 1 week there. I make sure that Sabbath we have a wonderful worship. So I am giving them Bible study
Oh,
for
good.
all the nearby villages also. They are nearly about 15 people, old people, they come, and I'm teaching them Bible.
Oh,
And
nice.
this lady, particular teacher, she's hearing also along with the children. So, she used to teach the children and tell them Friday evening till the Sabbath sunset, they would only pray, sing songs, and they would take some rest in the daytime after the lunch.
Uh-huh.
And in the meanwhile, after the Vespers, they will go to a corner or they will go to a rooftop. They will pray, sing loudly, kneel and pray. And as I requested them to pray for rain, they started to pray for rain. And one day the teacher gathered all the children. They said, let's go, as usual, go to the rooftop and pray with it, together. So they had a song, and then they all knelt down. They prayed in tears,
Oh.
crying. Some children, they literally cried. They were praying, oh Lord, please give us water, rain, rain. We don't have rain. The whole place is dry. We want water. And before this, I would also want to share with you that there is a water connection from the government, the local connection from the government.
Uh-huh.
And every 10 days once, or even sometimes once in a month, they would give water, which was not
so
sufficient.
it's not frequent and
Yeah.
it's not enough.
Enough. No, it was not enough at all. So the children were, very earnestly praying, Lord, please give. Amazingly, that particular day, when they were praying for the rain, even before they could finish their prayer, say an amen, the heavens started to open and the water was pouring down. The children all were wet completely. They came running down. And, I praise the Lord. Till this day, God has blessed with good rain. Even in, not in seasons.
Wow.
It's not rainy
Even
season.
if it's dry
now.
season.
Yeah. And now, if you see the property, it is green.
Wow.
And we are doing some vegetations there now. So God has really blessed. And I would also want to share with you another incident. I was there the last time. One of the neighbors from the nearby village is kind of elder of that Sunday worshipping church. He came to see me. So I was in the, taking bath, and he was waiting. And then later he came, and, I invited him, and he sat, and he said, he first shook hands with me. He said, "Thank you so much for putting up this orphanage in this place."
Oh.
I said, "It is God, not me. We need to thank the Lord." Then I asked him, "Would you please explain to me, why do you want to thank the Lord for?" He said, "For 2 reasons." And I said, "Okay, please tell me." The first reason is, I can feel, before this he said, "I can feel the Holy Spirit here.
Wow.
I can feel the presence, God's presence here."
Mm.
And then I asked him, why? What makes you feel this way? And he said, "For 2 reasons." And I said, "Can you tell me those?" And he said, "The first reason is, the children, when they went that night, prayed earnestly, asking for water, God poured out from heaven.
Mm.
We saw it right there, From then on, we have frequent rain." And the next thing I asked, "What?" And by the way, we were having the conversation. By the one of our workers, staff, he came with a glass of water to give him. That is the culture.
Right. You give them water.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whoever comes, we have to first give them a glass of water. So he gave him a glass of water. He drank, and then he was just standing by after giving the water. He asked him, "Can you guess from where this water is?" And he said, "Maybe the government water, And he said, "No." "Or maybe, the canned water what we buy." He said, "No." And he asked him, "Can you guess some more?" "No, I can't guess anymore. You tell me." "It is the well water." He stood up and he said, "Wow, I'm born and brought up here. I have never seen this water so tasty now.
Wow.
How it is now."
Wow.
And he said,
It's
"This is
because
the
of
second
God."
reason. And God's presence is here."
Yes.
And he
Wow.
said, I'm born and brought up. He's now 65 years old. He said, "We have been using this water for agriculture and the well water, for agriculture and, for all the house own, but not drinking. But now see the taste of the water." And this man who sold the land, we came out after the conversation. He said, "Yes, this water is so tasty. I've never seen in my life too."
Wow.
God is moving things there.
Right. He's blessing.
He's
answering those
amazingly
beautiful
blessing.
children's prayers.
Yes. And
Wow.
one more thing I would want to share is we had problem having exams on Sabbath for the children.
Yes.
Because our children go to an public school, government public school, and they, now the government is really changing, and they are forcing to have things which is not according to our way, in Bible way.
Right.
And they were forcing the children to attend the schools on Sabbath, on Saturdays. And they said, "You have to come and write exams." Our children, they said, "No, we can't write exams." And the headmaster, he scolded the children that if you don't do this, you will not be promoted to the next grade. Thus far, after a long season of prayer, God has touched those hearts. And now, by God's grace, the children are still not going for on Sabbath, but we have not got any word from them. All the children are promoted to the next grade, even though they didn't attend the, exams on Sabbath. Yeah.
Wow. Praise the Lord.
Yeah. So
That's a blessing from God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
Well, there's a lot of exciting things happening there.
Oh, a lot more. If I have time, I can share more.
Yeah, we'll have to do some more
Yeah.
interviews with you. But I want to ask you to share one of the needs. I know we have a lot of urgent needs at the orphanage. Can you share the most urgent need right now?
Right now, like I said, mentioned you before, the government has come up with many criterias where to run an orphanage. And one of the main thing is we need to have separate dorms for the girls and the boys.
Okay.
And right now we have one building, and we are adjusting with the boys and the girls. They are separate, but
separate rooms and stuff.
But they are asking for the boys to be way away from the girls.
Yeah.
So
well, I don't blame them.
Yeah, you're right. So, thus far God has been so gracious that none of the government people have come to inspect. But anytime they might come. But we are in very big need is a dorm for the
dorm
boys.
for the boys.
Yes.
That's the first step.
Yes, yes. And a
Okay.
house of worship where we
Right.
can have a church. You know, there are many village people. We are also planning to have evangelism. You know, I'm just training the children on the Sundays evening to go on the streets and sing some songs and, you know, tell a short story, you know, act a story so that
From the
yeah,
Bible?
from the Bible.
Okay.
So this will bring many people to the church.
Yes.
So we need a prayer all, you know,
Okay.
also.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing with us for
You're
just a few
welcome.
minutes here.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And I want to thank you for joining us here, but I also want to challenge you to become involved. You know, God is doing His work in the world today. He's answering the prayers of these beautiful children, and it's a witness and a testimony to the community around that has lived there for their whole lives. Go to JesusForAsia.org. Check out the orphanage in India to learn more. Become involved. Give, pray, whatever the Lord asks you to do. Maybe you can go and visit the children there. It's so fun to visit them. They're so loving and beautiful, and it is such a sweet place to be. So I just invite you to become involved in the Bethel Children's Home in India. May God bless you until we see you again on Mission TV Show. Thank you for watching us from the GC 2015.